Happy Thanksgiving! Hey, it's Sandy Missouri from Balloon Utopia and DIY Balloon Art. Today, we are going to be showing you a really cute little Thanksgiving-themed centerpiece, buffet piece, just tablescape kind of thing. All right, so first of all, we're going to start with our Linky balloon. So remember, this is the balloon that has the nozzle where you blow it, and then it's got a little tail on the end. And then we're going to take two 5-inch balloons that are just barely blown up, just a tiny little puff of air in them. Okay, and we're just going to tie one to each end. One there, and one here. And this is so that when we attach our other pieces, it's going to give a nice counter pressure to it, just like that. All right, and now we need to take our 260, and we're going to make the turkey head first. So what we're going to do is we're going to twist off a bubble. Now, here's the important part. When you're twisting with balloons, you want to make sure that if you only have one bubble twisted off, it's not secure until you lock it to another part of the balloon. So no matter who you are, no matter what you do, if you let go, it's going to untwist. So what you do is with your twisting hand, one hand is a holding hand, one hand's a twisting hand. With your twisting hand, you're going to hold it with your pinky to your palm, like that. So then your grabby fingers can keep grabbing and moving down. So now for the head, I would say that you want to grab, if you're holding your small bubble in your hand like this, just go down like a full, your full grip's worth. Maybe like your thumb extended all the way out. I'd say that's probably about maybe 4 inches or so. And we're going to twist a bubble. Now, you still have to control this bubble because until you lock it to another part of the balloon, it's not secure. So we're going to twist a bubble about that size, bring it down onto the balloon, and then measure it. Yeah, that's about even. Squeeze and twist. Okay, so now this is what we have. This kind of looks like a dog or a rabbit with a short little nose. And now what we're going to do is going to take it, we're going to lay it across, and you want to twist the third bubble, the third long bubble, slightly shorter than the other two. Just like that. Okay, so you see it's just slightly shorter. And what you're going to do is you're going to gently roll those two bubbles around the third bubble, like that. And this is basically our standard bird head. Okay, so for now we're just going to put that down. We're not doing anything else with him just yet. Now we're going to take our red 160, and it doesn't matter how much you inflate it because you're not going to use the whole thing. Okay, so you can twist off a little tiny bubble, control your bubble, and now we're just going to make 3 little loops. So we're just going to go 1 loop, and sometimes what I'll do to lock it is I'll just put that bubble right through my loop, just like that. And that just kind of locks it in. And then we're just making these 3 little loops right next to each other. So there's 2 loops, and there's the third loop, just like that. Okay? And now what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap this around, and I don't know where my scissors went, so don't do that at home. You guys can use your scissors, and that's what we get left with. Our next little piece, we're going to take our 260, and again, it's kind of the same process. We twist off our little bubble, and then we're going to make 2 little loops, 1 little loop, like that, and I'm going to push it through. I like to lock my balloons, make them real sturdy. I'm going to make another little loop, and I'm just going to wrap it around the nozzle. Think of it like sewing, when you're closing the knot, when you're sewing a pattern or something, or you're doing a button, and you kind of go around and through, and you do it a couple of times to make sure that it's solid. So you want to do that same thing when you're twisting balloons, because you don't want to leave the end like just half twisted, and then when you cut it off, the whole thing unravels. So just twist it around a couple more times. And now we're going to make 1 loop that's just a little bit bigger. So maybe like maybe about the size of your palm. And you want this one to be very squishy. So as you're twisting it, kind of squeeze the air out a little bit so that it's pliable, like this. Okay, and now we don't need this piece anymore. We can go ahead and just get rid of that. And then this piece of tail that's left, I'm just going to kind of wrap it again around and through to make sure that it's really, really sturdy. Okay, now what we're going to do, this is kind of a secret pro tip here, is we're going to take this and we're going to pinch it so that we have it kind of split about about 2/3 and 1/3. And so you're going to pinch and then twist the side between where it all meets together, the joint, and where your fingers are pinching. Like that. So that's going to kind of make our little hooked beak. Okay? So now that we have those pieces, let's assemble them. So we're going to take the beak, and you guessed it, we're going to put it right there, like that. Just twist it around. Just like so. Just like that. And then you want to center it so that the beak is kind of coming between the two eye bubbles, and in the back you've just got the one bubble. So the reason for that is because it would look very strange if you just had one eye instead of two. Okay, and now for this little piece, we're going to just do the same thing up here. Just kind of place it on there and twist it together. And then these extra little bits we'll get rid of in just a little, we'll get rid of at the end when we kind of manicure it. Okay, and now you're going to take your handy dandy Sharpie. And a word about drawing on balloons, there are basically two kinds of pens that are okay for balloons, and that is Sharpies and Expo markers. There's some pros and cons to each of them. There's also a paint pen called an Edding paint pen. But as a general rule, your Crayola markers, your kid markers are not going to draw on the balloons. They're going to bubble. So I'm sure that you've got Sharpies for other things. So Sharpies are really your best bet. The only thing that you may want to know about Sharpies on balloons is that if the balloon pops, then the Sharpie, when the balloon condenses, the Sharpie might rub off a little bit. So you could, get it on your fingers or something like that. Okay, and I do very, very simple artwork. If you wanted eyes that are a lot cuter, you could take your vinyl cutter and print out some eyes and stick them on there. Now the good thing is that, well, it's kind of annoying that the Sharpies will kind of reliquify if the balloon pops. On the other hand, if you make a wrong move, you can just kind of get it off with a little bit of water. A little bit of water and a little bit of rubbing. I am a great balloon artist and not so much with a pen, so you'll just have to bear with my not amazing artwork there. All right, so that's that. So now this here is going to actually be our turkey body. So we want to just kind of measure like, oh yeah, about there. That might be kind of a good turkey size. And so what we're going to do is we're going to twist how long we want that neck, and then we're going to just kind of twist two small loops. 1 and 2. Just like that. Okay, and now, again, sew it around. Figure 8 it, sew it around before you cut off this end that you don't need. Hey, happy birthday. I know that was loud, sorry. Okay, so now what we have is like turkey on a stick, and we're just going to wrap it around here, just like that. So there we go, now we have our turkey head. Now we need to do our tail feathers. So our tail feathers, it's always interesting doing this because I can't actually see what you see, so I'm just kind of hoping that, that it looks all right. And so here in the back, sometimes I leave this bubble just as a counter pressure because it holds the comb up, but I will cut off the knots. Just it makes it look a little bit nicer. So for now I'm just going to wrap that knot around to kind of hide it and finish it off a little bit. And so you see from the back that's kind of holding it all up there. Okay, so good. There we go with that. All right, so now we're going to make our tail feathers. For our tail feathers, I've got 3 1/60s. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to tie these, okay, so these are fully inflated with a good burp, so they're a little bit squishy. They don't need a ton of twists in it, but in one of the other videos we made some flowers. This is kind of going to be the same thing, that we're dividing this into thirds, into 3 bubbles. So we're going to tie it into a circle like that, and then we're going to take it, and it's okay if it's not exact. We're going to take it and we're going to chop about 1/3 off and twist it just like that, and then squish that together and twist that. So now we have kind of a 3-petal flower. And we're going to do the exact same thing to our other balloons. Okay, so the same thing, twist it like this. And then one more time. Okay, now we're going to take all 3 of these flowers and we're going to twist them together. Okay, so you see I just line them up and just grab them in the center and twist. And then I'm going to arrange it so that it's kind of like maybe red, yellow, orange. And then in the next layer, maybe I'm going to do orange and red like that. But the main thing is now I'm going to twist this onto this bubble right here. So this bubble is going to go just kind of twisting it into all of those flowers. And now we want to position it actually underneath the tail feathers so it props them all up. Okay, and now you can kind of come through, and if you want to arrange your colors, I think from the front one, maybe I'll do a red, yellow, and orange. And then the next one, maybe I'll do orange and red and yellow, like that. And what I'm doing here in the back is I'm just kind of like pulling it so that one just kind of props into the next. You don't have to do that. And now I'm going to do like this. All right, so there we have, you know, kind of that fanned out tail feathers, and that's our basic turkey. Now you notice it's not sticking, it's going to fall around, and so we want to make a little base for him. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take some cake boards, just regular cake boards. I'm sure you've used these for lots of things before, and we've got 2 cake boards. And if you notice on the cake board, you know, it has like a grain to it. And so for maximum stability, you want to put so that one is horizontal and one is vertical. So that way they're going to be very strong. Now I'm just taking a mock balloon or a foil balloon. It doesn't matter what the pattern is or what kind of, you know, there's a ton of different ones out there. But I'm just going to wrap my cake board in this balloon. So essentially I'm just using this balloon as if we're wrapping paper. And you know what? I happen to have a lot of balloons laying around. You could use wrapping paper. You could use fabric. You could use whatever you want to use. I mean, that's the whole beauty of this, is that this is all about you and expressing yourself to decorate your or your family's Thanksgiving table. So you see, I'm just kind of wrapping it, just kind of like you might wrap a present. And I'm not even going to worry if it's like perfect. It doesn't have to be. So just kind of wrap it like that. Let's see, I want to get that label on the inside there. And just like that. And then I'm just going to take a little sticky tab or some clear packing tape to close it. So in this case, I'm just doing a little sticky tab. Okay, and now I'm going to take another balloon to make kind of a runner. And again, you can do it out of fabric, you can do it out of wrapping paper, you can have your children draw pictures on paper bags. Anything that you want to do. But since I am using a balloon, I'm just going to tuck the label underneath there so that it's not disturbing everything. And I didn't do a great job wrapping that. Probably what I would actually use is clear packing tape because it'll hold it better. But that's okay. Okay, and I'm just going to put that down in the center. And now I have a little bit of fall leaf garland. So you can just get silk fall leaves. You can get the garland. Whatever you want. I'm just going to put that around like that. And I've got some little squashes and pumpkins that you can find very easily at this time of year. So I'm just going to kind of put those in there a little bit, you know, kind of do it up, make a little scene there. Oh, these are much heavier than I thought they would be. These are the non-edible kind. Or you could use plastic ones, you know, kind of your little cornucopia effect, put them all around. And I know what you're thinking, well, what about the turkey? All right, so now we're going to take our little adhesives, our little sticky tabs, your glue dots, whatever it is you like to use. Just put one right there on the bottom of your turkey and place him in the center just like so. And if he's kind of rolling, then you may want to just put one more. So that's what I'm just going to put one more there. And there we go. We have a super cute little Thanksgiving centerpiece that all of your friends, your family will be amazed with, and everybody's going to fight over who gets to take the turkey home.